What's up, everybody? Welcome to the broadcast. We've brought the dump truck up to this driveway job. What we've got to do today, or what I want to do, you can see that this drops off. I want to haul dirt from the very end back to here so we can level this entranceway up. Housekeeping. Alright, excavator is warming up. We're gonna give it about 10-15 minutes. It's only about 31 degrees. I'm not gonna load the truck too heavy the first load or two. That way, if I do have any old stump holes from where we cleared this that might be a little soft and we get stuck, we will have less dirt to unload. While we wait, we hydrate. Yeah, I'd say we packed this in pretty good yesterday, but it is tacky. At the beginning, it's pumping pretty good, so it's gonna be an interesting day if we get through it. All right, first thing we gotta do is unload this skid steer bucket that I hauled up on the dump truck. One of the first rules you'll wanna implement when you're new to excavation and grading is that you don't swing over the cab of the truck, even if it's closer to do that, because you will for sure at some point drop something on that cab. Let's check the moisture. It's crumbly, so it's definitely got moisture. Fish sticks, 14.2%. Actually, I don't know. Let's see. If it's true clay, you can make worms. Even though dirt can be darker. Is that worm? Even some red dirts or reddish dirts can be not true clay. And I actually learned that from a soil scientist. I can't remember how many scoops it takes for this thing to get a full load, but oh yeah, that's pretty good dirt. For what I'm doing, I'm not really worried about a few roots in it. Now, if I see a great big root or something, I'll pick it out, but for this, it's not too big of a deal. There's rock down here on this corner somewhere. I've done a lot of consultations here lately. Right now, I'm doing them for $75 per half hour, but that's prorated to the minute. So if you call me and just need a 5-minute conversation, that's all it costs. But a lot of people are struggling with what size machine they should get. And this 309, I built this whole road with it. The D4 was amazing. I thought I'd need it for 3 days, and I only needed it for, let's see, about 6 hours to cut this whole road in. And you can see how quickly I'm loading this dirt up. This thing is fast. The bigger the machine gets, a lot of times, the slower they are. But if you watch Let's Dig 18, his 220s are probably about as fast as this machine. I won't say that it took me 24 scoops with this 3-foot bucket on this machine to fully load this truck. Hopefully we don't hit rock going into this. Now what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to push some of that load towards the front. That way I've got a little more weight on my steer tires. I won't video backing down through here, but I'm probably going to do it in low reduction. That gives the truck more time to pack the road in, but also gives me more time to react if I fall into a hole. All right, let's move this load. friends, as I said, we're backing up in low reduction. We're gonna take it nice and slow. You're gonna see me really hugging what is to you guys the left side, the bank side, because over here to my left, there's a lot of virgin ground off that little shoulder. I've built this roadbed up about 12 inches. I'm gonna speed up just a little bit, it feels good. But at any moment, you gotta be prepared for this thing just to sit down. And if it's gonna turn over, it's gonna be that way, because the whole way that I was cutting this road in, this right side ditch, and I'll refer to everything from my side here on forward, I was hitting a lot of rock. Plus, if it goes to turn over to the right, I'm not gonna go far. If I go to the left, truck's totaled. Dump trucking, in my opinion, out of everything I'm doing, is probably the most dangerous. Anytime you get a truck off-road, it's a dangerous proposition. Now by the next 3 or 4 loads, I'm going to be backing up down through here in either low or even, I probably won't do high range here. But I can see behind me right now where coming up through here just empty, I sunk quite a bit. So I'm looking at the powder. I'm looking at, see the truck's starting to lean. I'm paying close attention. I can see that I sunk more, so certainly loaded. There's a higher possibility that there's a stump hole here. And I've got to be ready to mash the clutch, so I'm already hovering over it. I'm watching my front left tire. This is the reason I run these mega floats on this truck. Number one, it came with mega floats. But two is I'm backing up and those tandems are splitting the dirt. That front big old wide tire will mash it back pretty flat. I know this is pretty slow and mind numbing. I see a rock in behind me. I'm gonna stop and jump out real quick. Be right back. As the young people say, BRB. I'll also say, if I wasn't the one that built this road, I'd be nervous as the dickens running up and down through here. If somebody doesn't know what they're doing building a road, they'll just push a bunch of powder in, not compact it, and you'll be moving along up through there. Next thing you know, you're leaning at about a 45-degree angle, thinking, oh God, here we go. And down here in this swag, or this curve I'm getting ready to back to the left through, it's pretty powdery. And I've got to hug this bankside wall, because as I go through this curve, I'm going to have to cut the wheel to the right, and this front end's going to swing over into softer stuff. And if you sink your front end, it's going to be hard to keep traction to get out. This first path, this first run is always a little nervous, a little nerve-wracking. And not just for turning over. I don't want to get stuck. Getting stuck's annoying, especially when you work by yourself. So I'm going to feel quite accomplished if I can just get backed up where I need to be. Right here by this tree, I know I didn't have a whole lot of room with that front end to swing around. I'm just tracing my tire marks at this point. There's good. Now the way that I will dump the first load out. Alright, moment of truth here. I'm gonna lift this bed up until I I feel that dirt start to shift back. And then I'm gonna pop the tailgate open. A little close to that tree, but I don't have any limbs to get caught on. I'm just going to go in first gear, run up through here. Old Macalac can do it, folks. That was load number 1. We successfully made it through it. I'm fairly certain I can load this truck as heavy as I want to and it not sink, turn over, or anything. Now, before I pull the truck on up to where I can't get to it, I'm gonna go ahead and dig this bank back and move the dirt to where I can effectively load the truck without swinging near the cab or over the cab. About a Mack, their traction is hard to beat. I wish I could get out a little bit closer to that truck. I'll do better next time. That's why I'm spilling so much. We got 2 loads taken down there and work it in. Compact like one thing, I know that. Ooh, yeah. Definitely going to pack in good. One thing about cutting these little turnarounds is you make sure you don't dig yourself into a hole. Which means I usually try to cut them to where it's coming just slightly uphill from the road that I'm going into. If you shoot for level, a lot of times if you're new to this, you'll dig it too deep, and if it rains, it'll never dry out. Look at that stuff packed in there. One thing I've found that works good for on these is use the thumb. Hear that loud bang? I hate banging them, but you gotta get the stuff out somehow. I'm also going to load this next load more toward the passenger side. I'm not sitting too flat, a little bit bouncy. Those roots right there are about as big as I want to let them get. I better go ahead and get this skid steer warming up. By the time I run this next load, it'll be warm enough to put the bucket on and we can work that dirt in. Well, a couple of loads really made a difference here. I'm going to start by pushing the dirt on this side, because if I start over there, it's going to want to just lose dirt over the bank. And I need all the dirt I can get to stay right here. Relocate to a higher point on the hill, and yes, that's where my drone's riding shotgun with me. I got my seatbelt because this could cave off with me. Hopefully not, but it could. stuff's going to pack good. I only sunk about 2 inches there, and that's on the fresh stuff. There's not much more fun than a day of just loading the truck, moving it, and working it in. As far as I'm concerned, it's what I enjoy the most. Dirt. I might have to strip some more ground, just depending on how this goes. This is my last day before we got rain moving in. Whatever dirt I'm going to move, I need to do it today. I've only got, it's supposed to rain on Sunday, and I've only got Monday and Tuesday to work next week on any given job. So that, if it does rain much on Sunday, that doesn't give me any time for it to dry out before Christmas break. I don't know if we're going to get gravel moved today or not. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Try to remember to put my email in the description if you guys are wanting to get into this kind of work, or forestry mulching, lane clearing. That's where you can reach me to line up doing a consultation. The most common questions are, how much can I charge for a particular piece of equipment for a day? Where's the best place to get insurance? Where are the best places to advertise? And all those I can answer as far as what's worked well for me. I want to just share my new hat I got from Ben and Erica Adams down in Texas, Tejas. I really appreciate them. I think we did like a 2 or 3 hour consultation in person one time, and I really enjoyed meeting them, and we've stayed in touch since. It's really cool to go from having clients and customers to becoming friends. Well, I get this load loaded on up, we'll haul it down, work these in and see how far that gets us. Because I'm starting to get into some sandy stuff that's not going to be ideal. We'll have to strip some more ground, I think. I don't know if you guys can see it as good as me, but I actually remember the stump that I dug out right there, and I remember thinking this is going to settle, and sure enough that side's staying put, this side's a little high, so I've got a load of dirt I'm going to put in there. I'm going to track it in, probably go get another bucket or two, track them in, leave it a little high, that way it leaves room for compaction and it should smooth out. In theory, that is. I seem like need just a little bit more dirt. So if I clear this little area back to that tree, that's not going to open up too much view of the neighbors, but it's going to open me up that couple of truckloads that I really, really need. Well, I believe, as fate would have it, it's going to work out just right to dig this on back as much as I'm going to need dirt, because sometimes I can't talk and concentrate at the same time. We're gonna need that room to be able to turn this truck around, which also means my truck is about as big as they come around here. There's a few quads, but most people run triaxles or tandems just because the mountains are so tough to get around in. Therefore, any trucks that come up here will be able to use this turnaround. I think the homeowner will be glad to have it. I've probably got 3 truckloads here that I can get out. I believe that's all I'm going to need for it to be an ideal situation. The sun's bright this evening, isn't it? I can be happy with. I'm gonna go get one last load. It's pretty rocky. I think it's gonna be really good to dump off this edge here to make us a nice wide entrance. It's always kind of bittersweet when you get close to being done with the project, because it's like, well, we're almost there, we've almost completed it. But at the same time, I couldn't be more excited to haul some stone in and make this look like a road. I'm gonna finish up moving some dirt, finish out the entrance, and I will see you guys on the next video where I'll be putting in drainage and hopefully hauling in some stone for this road. We love you guys. See you next time.